If you've been identified as the doer of a crime, there are several ways that we can attack the identification. In this video, we will discuss how to attack an identification to win your case. Hi, my name is Lonnie Fish from the Liberty Law Team, and we represent people who have been injured or accused of crimes. And in this video, we're going to discuss what the lawyer can do in your case if you've been identified. In cross-examination, we could call an expert to discuss the lack of reliability of that identification. We can take prior statements that the witness made that have some dissimilarities to what they say in court at the time of your identification, or dissimilarities from what other witnesses say. We can bring up any sort of motive or bias by the witness. We can also discuss the witness's ability to perceive. We can also talk about whether or not they were intoxicated, whether it was late at night. We can discuss the degree of attention they had, whether they were, watching TV, or whether there was a party going on, what their state of mind was. We can discuss how certain, whether they're hedging their identification. We can discuss any sort of time delay between the time of the crime and the time of identification. We can discuss whether or not there was a stress, even with the event, such as a robbery, the stress of the robbery, or the focus on a weapon or object at the time of the event. We can talk about how long they've had to, how long of a time they've had to identify or perceive the event. We can talk about distance and lighting. We can also talk about memory decay, or lastly, we can talk about racial bias. Another way we can discuss is to actually not only ask the judge to throw away the case based on the identification being unduly suggestive, but we also, if the judge does not throw the identification away, we can discuss it being unduly suggestive straight to the jury and say that the procedure in and of itself was unduly suggestive, and hope that if the judge doesn't throw the case out, the jury will be able to take that into consideration. So if you've been identified as a doer, or if you or a loved one has been identified as the doer of a crime, the case isn't over. Feel free to call us at the Liberty Law Team so we can win your case.